What is up, all you lovely people? We got some absolutely massive Scream news today, so stick around.
You're afraid of dying.
How do you know? You've never tried it before.
As I said in the opening there, massive Scream news. And I say Scream news, not Scream 7 news, because this is a project outside of Scream 7. A while ago, after Scream 6 came out, myself, a bunch of other creators, Craven Something Scary, Destin over at Destination Station, Marcus over at Shot 'em Six Times, all had this idea that, we'd put it out there and you could go back and watch the tapes, that it would be a good idea or a fun idea as a little side project to have something focusing on Kirby Reed and her investigating other Ghostface attacks that weren't like the main attacks on Gale or Sydney or the Core Four. It seems that they're listening because we got confirmation via Production Weekly that there is going to be a Scream spinoff for the first time ever. And I know we had the TV show, but that wasn't canon. The TV show does not take place in the same universe as Sydney, at least that we know of. This is a spinoff that is canon. It centers on Kirby Reed, who was in part four. Sydney was also in part four. Therefore, this will be canon to the main franchise, which is awesome news. We've never got that before. And Production Weekly had this to say. As you see here, it says Untitled Scream Spinoff. It is a feature film, not a TV show, which I believe is what I said should happen in one of the previous lives that I was on. We do have a bit of, just a small bit of production company information there with Outer Banks Entertainment. Status is development. Producer is Kevin Williamson, which is nothing new. He's a producer on every Scream film. I believe he was also a producer on the TV show. But then we have the little snippet of plot. A spin-off of the Scream franchise centering on Hayden Panettiere's character, Special Agent Kirby Reed, the sole teenage survivor of the second Woodsboro murders. Known as the Woodsboro Massacre Remake, the highest body count and most violent massacre of all Ghostface killing sprees. Y'all, I'm excited. I'm beyond excited. This is the first, canon spin-off we'll have, and I think Kirby's a great character. I would love to see more of her, and it'd be awesome to see a lot of more little Ghostface attacks. And I don't want to minimize the attack or the murder itself, but if it's not going against, the Core Four or Gale or Sydney, we haven't really cared in the past. And you got to believe in world, this franchise is so big that people would be doing these attacks on random people around the world or around the country at least. So I think this is going to be huge. We do also have a few updates for Scream 7. One major update is that Sydney is actually going to have a daughter named Tatum. Now, this comes from Viewer Anon. I think that's beautiful. I think that is definitely something Sydney would do. We saw in part 3, she was still wearing the necklace from her boyfriend Derek from part 2. So she is the sentimental type. And with Tatum being the best friend that she was, I don't think it's out of character at all for Sydney to name her daughter Tatum. It's also a way to remember Dewey, because let's not forget, Dewey was Tatum's older brother. And we even saw Tatum, mentioned by name. Her urn was on Dewey's mantle in part 5. So I think it's absolutely beautiful, a great way to remember the character of Tatum, and right in line with Sydney's character. And the other little snippets of information we got, one good, it's not really good, it's actually very generic, but the little snippet we got of plot from Scream 7 just says Sidney Prescott and Gale Weathers will face Ghostface again in the 7th installment of the slasher saga. That's very generic. We already knew Sidney was coming back. I didn't know for 1,000% certain that Gale was coming back, so this does just go further to confirm that for me. But overall, very generic little snippet. And the last piece of news is that filming was actually pushed back to January of 2025. Now, if I'm being honest, I don't think we get this movie 2025. I think we get this 2026 early. They could push it and do late 2025, but I think with the 4-month production schedule like they planned, that's just initial photography. Then they're going to have to do, we're going to have to do pickups, ADR. They're going to have to get prints out, do advertising. I think it's going to take a while. I think early 2026. However, I could be wrong. We could get it late 2025. It is a 4-month shoot schedule, which is what it was initially slated for. So they're going to take the time on this movie, which I think is good. And also, filming is taking place in Atlanta, which we already knew. And yeah, that's what I got, y'all. Let me know down in the comments. Are you excited for Scream 7? And how do you feel about a spin-off of the Scream franchise finally being canon? Do you like it? Would you rather them stick with the main franchise? Let me know. For that, I love you all. I will see you next time.
Oh.
I hate goodbyes.